Tonight's the night former President Trump will accept the Republican Party's nomination.
This past week's events will likely impact the tone of his speech. Our political reporter, Paris Schatz, has been in Milwaukee all week long. Good morning to you, Paris.
Hey, Brian. Hey, Natalie. Yeah, from all indications and everyone we talk to, the former president is going to give a different speech tonight than he would have given had Saturday not happened. One that might be toned down a bit in the vitriolic rhetoric, although toned down for Trump means something different than it means for the rest of us. But that would sort of track with the rest of the convention rhetoric. Don't get me wrong, there have been a lot of harsh comments about Biden and Harris, but it has been focused mostly on policy, which is pretty typical for conventions. We don't like what the current folks have done. We think that they've ruined the country, so to speak. Vote them out of office, put us in, we're going to save it. That's the overarching message that we've heard all week, so we would expect the same from Donald Trump tonight in an effort to promote unity after what happened on Saturday. Now, it's also smart politics because we would expect that tens of millions of people will tune in around the country that are curious to see what the president's going to sound like, the former president, after what happened on Saturday. And this is a different audience than the base, than the folks that come to his rallies that like to hear the red meat, so to speak. That turns off a lot of folks in the middle. And right now, what's at play are those blue-collar states, Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania, that are toss-ups, and the toss-up districts in those states, which tend to be suburbs and exurbs, and a lot of folks are turned off by the vitriol, and so you can bet that Republican officials and Donald Trump know that right now, and that's going to play into the kind of speech that he's going to give tonight, and so we are greatly anticipating that. But, you know, one thing's for certain, don't ever expect anything when it comes to Trump. He'll come out and do something that nobody expected. So, you know, we'll be prepared for anything tonight, Natalie and Brian.
And Paris, you've been there all week. What's been the reaction so far this morning to the speech last night from J.D. Vance?
Well, as you can see behind me, the Illinois delegation rally, the breakfast rally, is just breaking up right now. They're in very good spirits. They're going to go to a happy hour, and then they're going to go to the Trump speech. That's an interesting sequence of events tonight. But the reaction has been universally positive. And as we mentioned, J.D. Vance has had some very vitriolic rhetoric, especially around the issue of abortion, around the issue of Ukraine. You did not hear the words Ukraine or abortion last night. Last night was about introducing J.D. Vance, humanizing J.D. Vance, connecting his story coming up in poverty in rural Ohio, rural Appalachia, in a working class town that had been hollowed out, connecting that to the policies of Joe Biden as president, as senator, whether some of that comports with reality or not. He talked about NAFTA. NAFTA had hollowed out jobs. Well, NAFTA was a bipartisan trade deal. It was something supported by a majority of Republicans and some Democrats back then. And this sort of underscores the movement of the Republican Party now to a party that wants to appeal to the working class. But why? Because those states that we mentioned, Michigan, Wisconsin, Ohio, Pennsylvania, working class voters. You had the Teamsters president come up and address the Republican convention. A union boss coming up and saying he was open to supporting Republicans. That's something that you would not have heard 8 years ago, 12 years ago, certainly after Reagan. So we've talked about this a lot this week. The Illinois delegation here is a very different delegation than in years past. You don't have sort of the elite establishment Republicans. It's more of the grassroots, the rural Republicans. So again, Vance's message resonated with the folks here. And of course, Natalie and Brian, we're going to have wall-to-wall coverage all day. It's the final day of the convention here in Milwaukee, and we're going to be running around bringing you everything that we can